Hello, friends from across the nation and around the world. I'm Martin, and you are listening to Dad's Bedtime Stories. Tonight, I've decided to do a story that I've honestly gone back and forth on, wondering if it's a good idea to do this particular topic or not, but I decided, honestly, it's kind of funny, so I think I'm going to do it. Let's check out the story suggestion.
Okay, so we would like to request a story about this girl named Sully, and she's kind of weird because she was born with these super farts, and she meets this elemental dragon named Avett, and he shoots webs out of his tail, and he shoots fire out of his mouth. So he's half Spider-Man. Bye, we love your story. Bye, we love your story.
Now, that was from Sullivan and Avett, and I think, despite parents maybe getting mad at me for doing this one, I'm going to do it anyways. And parents, if you'd like to complain about the podcast, you can always write to me at dad.bedtimestories@gmail.com. I'd love to know what you're thinking about this particular topic on this particular podcast. Before we get started, I want to give a couple shoutouts to some of my newest Patreon sponsors. First of all, thank you to JD and Zeke. JD did the Soundwolf idea, and Zeke did the Marble Run Planet idea in the past, and they recently just sponsored me on Patreon, so I really appreciate that very much. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Emery and Eleanor from Eugene, Oregon, who joined Patreon recently as well and sponsored the podcast. I really appreciate it. We don't get a ton of sponsors on the podcast very easily, or maybe you're listening to this in the future and we do. I have no idea, but I really appreciate every Patreon sponsorship. You keep the lights on here in the Dad's Bedtime Studios, which is my basement. Now, it's time to close your eyes, get as comfy as you can in that bed, and imagine yourself doing what the kid in the story does. Oh, and again, parents, if you're not okay with a story about superpowered ability to pass gas, you should probably go to a different episode. Sully had been counting down the days to her 10th birthday for years. In her family, powers didn't show up slowly. They didn't trickle in or whisper their arrival. They exploded. Her dad's powers had first appeared when he sneezed and accidentally punched a hole through the roof. He'd immediately floated upward in shock, hovering 30 feet above the house while apologizing to the neighbors. Her mum's powers had arrived during a thunderstorm. She'd panicked at the lightning, and suddenly a glowing dome of pure force field energy had formed around the entire house. It stayed up for 3 hours because she didn't know how to turn it off. Her older brother Max had discovered his speed when he tried to run away from a bee. He'd blinked and found himself 3 blocks away holding someone else's lemonade. So yes, Sully had expectations. On the morning of her birthday, the backyard was transformed into a superhero festival. Streamers hung from trees, balloons floated in perfectly arranged clusters thanks to her mom's floating force field strings. Her dad had set up a strength test booth where kids could try lifting a foam boulder. Max zoomed around, delivering snacks before anyone realized they were hungry. Sully stood in front of her cake. 10 candles flickered in the sunshine. Her heart pounded. She closed her eyes. Please be something cool, something epic, something I could show off, she said, hoping for the coolest superpower she could get. She blew, and the candles went out. Everyone cheered. And then her stomach tightened. A bubbling sensation formed deep in her belly. Not sparkles, not electricity, just a sort of weird pressure. "Oh no," she whispered. She tried to stand still, but the pressure grew stronger. Maybe just a little, she thought desperately. We're outside. Hopefully nobody'll notice. She shifted slightly and released. What came out sounded like a jet engine waking up. Sully shot 15 feet straight into the air. Plates scattered, balloons popped as she drifted sideways. I can't stop it, she screamed as a steady stream of rocket force gas kept her suspended above her own birthday party. Her dad flew up calmly. Okay, Sully, breathe. You're activating it. That means you can deactivate it. I don't know how, Sully responded. Slow your breathing. Think of it like tightening a valve. She squeezed her eyes shut. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. She relaxed her muscles, and the blast began to weaken. She drifted down. Silence filled the yard. Then a kid shouted, Sully has super farts. That's the worst power ever. A few snickers followed. Her chest tightened. She landed, and she ran. Through the gate into the forest. She didn't stop until the sound of the party disappeared. She collapsed near a cluster of rocks and buried her face in her arms. Of all the powers, of all the cool things she could have gotten, she got that. That's when she heard sniffling. She looked up and spotted a small green dragon curled beside the rocks, his wings wrapped around himself. Webs, he groaned miserably. I shoot webs. What kind of a dragon shoots webs? I should command lightning or move mountains, but no, I am a sticky-tailed spider dragon. Sully blinked through her tears. You shoot webs? She asked. The dragon jumped. You saw nothing. It's okay, she sniffed. I have super farts. The dragon paused. That's unfortunate. They stared at each other. Then both of them burst out laughing. His name was Avett. He'd discovered his web-shooting tail that morning and fled his dragon clan in embarrassment. I was supposed to be elemental, he said gloomily. Instead, I'm adhesive. Can you still breathe fire? Sully asked. He nodded and released a respectable burst of flame. That's awesome, she said honestly. It is not. It is, and webs aren't useless. Show me. Reluctantly, he shot a strand at a tree. It stuck instantly. Again, Sully encouraged. Soon, he was layering webs between trees. They tested strength, they tested stretch, they made a net and dropped pine cones into it. Avett's eyes slowly widened. Then Sully said, Try swinging. What? You know, like shoot a web up into the trees and then swing from it like Tarzan or whatever. So, Sully shot a strand higher and cautiously leapt, holding on to it with his arms. He swung wildly and shrieked. Then he laughed. Within minutes, he was web-slinging from tree to tree. This is incredible, he yelled. Told you. Then Avett landed beside her. Well, now it's your turn. Sully hesitated. Then she focused. A small blast lifted her 3 feet up in the air. She adjusted, another burst angled her forward. She practiced hovering there with the constant stream of gas. She learned to point it straight down to get her to hover in the air and off to one side or the other to help her steer. After several attempts and one accidental sideways spin into a bush, she was actually able to stabilize herself. She hovered above the forest floor, grinning. "See?" Avett said. "Flight." "Sort of," she admitted. They practiced for nearly an hour. Then Avett tilted his head thoughtfully. "You know, you're always using the back end." Sully frowned. "That's where it comes from." "But what if it's just gas control, not just farts?" She blinked. "What are you suggesting?" He shrugged. "Have you tried burping?" She stared. "That's disgusting," she said. "You, just flew in the air using your bum." "That's a fair point," she said. So she concentrated. She summoned the same pressure feeling, but this time she tried to do it higher up in her chest. She forced out a small burp, and it echoed louder than expected. The shock wave knocked Avett backward into a pile of leaves. They froze. Avett slowly sat up. "That was amazing," he said. Sully's eyes widened. She tried again. Burp. This time, a visible ripple of force shot outward. Avett braced himself and slid backward. "Front-facing propulsion," he declared. "Way easier to aim." They experimented. Short burps for quick shoves, longer burps for blast waves. Soon, Sully was standing her ground while sending Avett flying across the clearing. He retaliated by webbing her boots to a tree. They both laughed so hard they fell over. Then, Avett grew thoughtful again. What if you could control the type of gas?" he asked. "Explain?" she said. "Well, you know, smell, density, flammability." "That sounds dangerous." "Well, maybe we should just try smell first," Avett said. So, against her better judgment, Sully concentrated on the worst odor she could imagine. She released a tiny puff. It drifted towards Avett. He sniffed, his eyes crossed, and he collapsed instantly. "Avett!" She shook him awake. He groaned back to life. "Sleeping gas," he whispered in awe. "You made sleeping gas." Sully blinked. They tested again carefully. This time she adjusted the concentration. She was hoping to make it flammable, more methane-y, easier to catch on fire. Avett gave a tiny spark from his fire breath, and boom! A controlled fireball burst above them. They stared at each other. Then they once again burst into laughter. By sunset, Sully could hover with controlled bursts of toots, propel other things forward with super burps, produce an incredibly smelly sleeping gas, and ignite small flame bursts. Her embarrassment had shrunk into something else. Possibility. "Do you want to come home with me?" she asked Avett. He hesitated. I'm not really ready to face my clan." "Then you can stay with us," she said. He agreed, and they walked back together. He was just a little dragon, too small to ride at this point. When they arrived back in Sully's backyard, her mom cried out and pulled her into a hug. "Sully, I was so worried," she said. Her dad just looked relieved. "We were worried." "It's okay," Sully said confidently. "Watch this." She lifted gently into the air, demonstrating her ability to hover using a superpowered blast of gas from her rear end. Then she burped so loudly she blew over all of the chairs around the table. "Oh my gosh, that is so cool, Sully. Wow, show me more," her brother Max said, zipping from place to place. So she unleashed a small puff of the silent but deadly type, and her brother instantly fell asleep. As a finale, she walked over to the barbecue, grabbed the barbecue lighter, ordered her family to stand back, and released a stream of, highly flammable gas. She sparked the lighter, and a controlled flame burst upward like a miniature rocket. Her parents stared, grossed out, but also kind of impressed. Her dad crossed his arms. "Well, that's certainly something." Her mom nodded slowly. "It's really versatile, dear." Sully just grinned. "Can Avett stay with us?" Avett stood awkwardly behind her. Her parents exchanged a look. Of course, if he's a friend of yours, he's a friend of ours. He can sleep on the floor in your bedroom. At least until he gets bigger," her dad said. That night, as the two of them slept, there was a crash. Glass shattering downstairs. Sully and Avett both bolted upright. Another crash. She put her hand up to her lips, gesturing for Avett to be quiet. Then she crept down the hallway. Avett followed as quietly as he could. They snuck down the stairwell and over towards the living room. As they peeked around the corner, they saw her family tied up with reinforced cables. 4 villains stood in the wrecked living room. She wasn't completely surprised, as things like this happened from time to time when you were in a family full of superheroes. One of them was a toad-like creature, a humanoid toad that looked kinda disgusting. Then there was a hulking strong man that looked like he could lift a house above his head. Beside him was a woman that looked like she was made of stone, and beside her was a massive-headed figure in a mechanical suit. He was pretty clearly some sort of super genius that had built himself a high-tech outfit. "What about the girl?" the rock woman asked. The super brain tapped a holographic display. "My intelligence confirms that her only power seems to be super farts. That must be a minimal threat. We can go get her next." Sully stepped forward. "You should update your files," she said. All heads turned to her, and the little fire-breathing spider dragon standing beside her. Avett launched first. Webs shot across the room, pinning the toad to the ceiling. The strong man charged. Sully planted her feet and unleashed a massive burp. The power of the gas and the shock wave sent the man flying across the room and straight into the drywall. The rock woman unleashed a blast of rock that trapped Sully's feet to the ground, and the super brainiac-looking dude unleashed a rope that shot out of his suit and wrapped around the dragon. "As I thought, primitive gas-based propulsion," the man sneered. And then Sully smirked. "Avett, hold your breath," she said. He inhaled deeply and closed his mouth and nose as much as he possibly could. Sully focused inward and transformed the gas into the smelliest, most sleep-inducing type she possibly could, and in a silent but deadly attack, she released it all. The rock woman staggered. The super brain tried sealing his helmet, but it was too late. They both collapsed onto the floor. Sully then used a controlled burp to break her feet free and went and untied Avett, who quickly webbed all the remaining villains in case they woke up. Sully then untied her family. Her dad stood slowly staring at the scene. Her mom blinked at the web-covered criminals, and Max grinned. "You saved us," her father said. Sully just shrugged. Her dad laughed. Her mom hugged her. Avett puffed his chest. "She is highly effective," he said. Police sirens wailed outside, and Sully stood in the wrecked living room, surrounded by defeated villains and amazed family members. Her power was weird, ridiculous, absurd. But it flew, it blasted, it put enemies to sleep, and it even ignited. A move she had thoughtfully not used inside her house. Max nudged her. I don't think superfart's really covered anymore," he said. Sully crossed her arms thoughtfully. "I think we should probably call you something else, like the Gas Master." Her mother winced. "We'll keep brainstorming, dear." Avett grinned. "Whatever the name, it's powerful." Sully smiled. Earlier that day, she'd run into the forest ashamed. Now, she stood in the center of a victory, and deep in her chest, she felt a small rumble. She grinned confidently. This time, she had it completely under control. When the police were done arresting the criminals and her parents had done their best job of cleaning up, she and Avett went back to bed. She pulled the covers up to her chin, closed her eyes, and just began to breathe. With each breath, she relaxed the muscles in her arms and legs a little bit more, and she began to sink down into the bed. The deeper she breathed, the deeper she sank. And the deeper she sank, the better she felt, until she felt as if she were floating on a cloud, and her mind began to wander off to thoughts of new dreams, new adventures, and new interesting uses of her gas-based powers to come. Good night, everyone.